Flush Your Fat for Good with Jackie and Dr. Vicky, only on LA Talk Radio.
Hi, and thanks for tuning in. My name is Jackie Paget-Beard.
And I'm Dr. Vicky Arcady.
And we're the co-creators of Flush Your Fat for Good, Be Lean and Healthy for Life. We actually wrote a book about it, and you can find that on Amazon.com or on our website, flushyourfatforgood.com. You know, it's not a diet, it's a lifestyle. And there's a lot of fads out there, there's a lot of diets out there, there's a lot of gimmicks out there. But in the long run, the best way to go in life is a lifestyle, to never struggle again. People are suffering with their weight. Some people are giving up on the fact that they're heavy and they're going down in health. They've got a lot of health issues with blood pressure, diabetes, cholesterol. They're losing the joints in their knees and hips and ankles. And they're just saying, well, I guess this is the way it's going to be. It doesn't have to be that way. And it doesn't matter if you're worried about 20, 30, 40 pounds or you're worried about 400, because we work with it all. We actually have what's called a Power 100 group if you're 100 pounds over. And because this is a lifestyle, this is something that requires what we call habitual ritual. Something that you do on a regular basis, and it becomes like second nature, you know, like brushing your teeth. You don't really think about it. Is there any doubt that the majority of you are brushing twice a day? And what else?
It becomes, like with us, it's automatic.
Automatic.
It's just automatic, and you know what you're doing, and that's what you do, and you're living the lifestyle, and your health keeps improving, and you're aging gracefully, if at all.
You're already doing some habits, but are they good habits, number one?
Right.
And number two, is it a ritual for you? We call it habitual ritual.
Right.
So that it is a second nature, so that it is, you don't think about brushing your teeth, so that you realize you have certain things in that even when you get into a car, do you really question, should I put on my seatbelt anymore? That's a habit.
Yes.
Right? What are the other habits? I mean, some people have habits.
Well, if you've ever taken a motorcycle class, which I have,
No.
I've had a motorcycle, and they teach you 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a habitual ritual. You get on the bike, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4. And
Right.
you do these things in order, and that's what you do.
And why?
Because that gives you the result. It's safe, it's effective, and it becomes mindless.
Right. It becomes mindless. You want to be able to live your lifestyle so that you don't have to think about, what am I going to eat on the weekend? Where am I going to go? Oh, if I go to a wedding, if there's a party,
And it involves many times changing your paradigm that you've been raised with, and in order to change a paradigm, you have to have repetition. It's the only way.
Right, exactly.
So
what we wound up doing is, with this lifestyle, I wrote a workbook, and you can find that on our website. And we wrote what do we call this?
Bible.
Yeah, this is like the Bible.
This is like our Bible, the Flush Your Fat for Good Bible.
It's
a reference book. It's everything you wanted to know at the moment, about Flush Your Fat for Good lifestyle.
But the workbook is something you can get started with right away, and you can download it digitally, or you can order the book.
Yep.
Okay? It's only 44 steps. And that's what we're going to go through today, because I got a phone call from a couple of people in the last couple of days, and they said they were referred by someone, and they said, so why do I have to get the workbook? I'm looking on the website. Do I need to get the workbook? Should I get the bigger paperback book? What should I do? And I said, you got to have the workbook. All of our coaches really need to have the workbook and the paperback book, okay?
Yes.
Because that's the philosophy. This is the
this
lifestyle.
Is like the textbook.
Yeah, that's
like
what
the
I was
textbook.
looking for. This is our textbook.
Yeah.
But the workbook is the blueprint on how you are going to live your lifestyle, live your day.
Yes.
What are the do's and don'ts, and the recommendations, okay? It just cuts to the chase. For those that just say, look, I'm tired of being sick and tired and fat, just tell me what to do. Then you want the workbook.
It's like a quick look book.
Right.
Quick look. You can just keep it in your kitchen and on the table or whatever, and you can quickly go to that.
So approximately 4 years ago, I wrote this book, and then we put it out there to have 2 study groups with approximately 24 people for 12 weeks at a time. And the results were just phenomenal and amazing, and people, it wasn't, after the 12 weeks was up, they were continuing to go on to where they were on their journey now. They were on to being lean and healthy for life. They knew what to do, and they knew that they no longer had to have 3 different sizes of clothes in their closet, always having to wear black or dark colors, big baggy clothes to hide themselves. They knew if they just stayed on this line, if you stay brushing your teeth, chances are you're going to have less cavities.
Minimize cavities.
Yeah,
And
minimize.
keep your teeth.
And your gums and everything.
Yeah.
If you don't, you're going to face the dentist with a big bill. That's not mine. Somebody calling you special?
No, the one time I didn't turn off my phone, but
so the long story short is we're going to have Did You Know That, the segment Dr. Vicki does on her research, and she shares it with you. But we were talking about how we're going to incorporate her Did You Know That with what we're going to talk about with the workbook in a minute. And so she came up with something that just blew me away. And I never thought of it that way, but oh my God. So did you know that? Here's Dr. Vicki.
Well, first off, if you compare diets to lifestyles, we did a full-on podcast. We have it archived on our YouTube channel, on our website, and also on LA Talk Radio, about what happens to you when you have a calorie-restricted diet. And I go in depth with studies. I mean, it's really intensive if you really want to know the difference. And when people try to lose weight, they do they think they have to starve themselves, which is the common thing. It makes sense. If you starve yourself, you should lose weight.
And bone and muscle in your life.
That's right. But today I thought about something, and it hit me that if you think about it, humans are the only species that will go on a diet. Every other species has a diet. They have their lifestyle. They don't deter from their lifestyle. They eat what they're going to eat. They know what they're supposed to eat. They continue to eat that, and everybody does great. Everybody does great. But humans are the only ones
if you think
that
about
diet.
It, you never see like a lizard going to eat an elephant's food. You never you know what I'm saying? It's like the lizard looks and goes, what's the elephant eating today? I think
if you think in the wild, just animals in general, they're only going to eat what
they know what they're
their
supposed to eat.
Species is supposed to eat.
Right, according to their body, their digestion, an elephant might say, to the giraffe, you're so much leaner, you're so much thinner.
Right.
Maybe I should be eating what you're eating.
Right.
But the body of the giraffe is way up high, and they eat the leaves of the tree above. So everything in nature is according to the way it should be.
Right.
But the word diet with the first 3 letters is die. So when you came up with that
is like, I just thought of that today. I went, that tells you right there. You should be, we should all be doing a lifestyle. We should all be eating what God put on the planet for us to eat, so that we, not anything artificial, not anything man-made, nothing like that. So, we should be eating what we were supposed to be eating.
Here's the deal. It doesn't mean you can't enjoy your food.
Right.
It doesn't mean you can't have the spice of life and the flavor of all different things that are great. But if you put a few rules with it, then what's going to happen is the most important thing you're emphasizing is the quality of life, the quality of your health, the quality of how you feel. Are you sleepy throughout the day? Do you have enough energy? Are you clear in your thinking? Is your retention lower? Is your cognition sharp? Are your moods sketchy?
Right.
Do you have 3 to 4 bowel movements a day? Digestion, absorption, and elimination is the bomb. That's the key to your life, because it's 70 to 80% of your immune system is in your gut.
Mm-hmm.
And anytime you have a brain function disorder, you have to look at the gut. So it's all tied in. So a lifestyle is how you feed yourself according to how you feel about yourself. Are you important? Are you somebody that really deserves to feel good in your clothes, feel happy and vibrant and full of life, and want to live life? Some people, and I've heard this from a few people in my lifetime, that, they're fine if they just die tomorrow. They're life, I don't know. How long do you want to live? I don't know if I have these problems and if I'm tired. And I'm like, what are you talking about? If.
Mm-hmm.
If you could be high energy, very happy, just sleeping deeply, when you wake up, you can't wait to see the day, and you're motivated to be able to do something creative and enjoy life. Then, if you have that, how old you want to be when you take your last breath? So, none of us get, well, I do. That's me. I've taken a lot of things in depth, But a lot of people, when I ask them, how old do you want to be when you take your last breath? Here's what I get. I've just never really thought about that. Well,
Most people don't.
when do you fill your car up with gas? Oh, I always look. I check. When I turn on the engine, I check to see, when do you get it tuned up? Well, there's a little sticker on the corner, and then it tells me how to do it.
Right.
So you guys have your car down, but you don't have your life down. So what we're going to do is really give you a little bit of the highlights of our workbook, okay? This is our Flush Your Fat for Good workbook, and it's well worth getting. And I like the book itself because you can, write all over it and put highlight yellow on it and put stickies in there and things like this. And wherever you go, you can digitally download it onto a laptop. What do you call them?
Tablet.
Tablet. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have highlight capabilities on that and stuff like that, that's cool too.
Uh-huh.
But, obviously, the front page is called Flush Your Fat for Good, and it's a workbook, okay? So I printed these off so I know what the heck I'm telling you.
We don't have a monitor to see.
Yeah, I know. But the first slide we're going to show you is the 8 essential pillars of this incredible lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
And the 8 essential pillars came to me, and I just started doing them automatically. It was through divine intervention. It was downloaded into my brain. It was after a tragedy in my family, and stress had just put about 50 pounds on me, and I didn't know how the hell it got there until I stopped and thought, oh my God, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
And when I asked for help, I got it instantaneously. And it all came into my brain, and it was the 8 essential pillars.
Mm-hmm.
And the first pillar is nutritional ketosis. The second is food combining. Third is low glycemic eating. The fourth is nutrifying, which is a real word in the dictionary, nutrifying, which means you supplement with nutrition, supplementation. The fifth is detoxing, because when you wind up doing this lifestyle, Your body is really cleaning out. It's called flush your fat for good. Get it? Not slush your fat for good. So you start detoxing, but the toxins are in the fat cells, and they're going to start going through your liver and congesting your liver, making you feel tired, and then you're going to have constipation. So the 6th pillar is flushing, and that's what we do with the Cran Flush. And you'll read more about that in the workbook. And then 7 is exercise and sleep. You have to walk 5 days a week, 30 minutes minimum.
Yep.
But if you're bedbound, then we have suggestions for you when you're bedbound. You have to do some form of activity for 30 minutes minimum 5 days a week. And man, oh man, when I'm not doing that, it's just one of the pillars that if you miss that, you don't feel right. And sleep, if you're not getting enough sleep, you're always going to be overweight. If you're not getting enough sleep, your moods are going to be off, your cognition's going to be off.
And you're going to get fat.
Yeah, you get fat for sure. And then the 8th pillar is something that we created, which is support and accountability. Because you can't do it alone. You can't do it on your own. You can't go over to the shopping mart and look at, all the diet things, and you buy a bar and then you buy a shake and then you think you're going to figure it out. Well, I'm just going to eat less, some people go, no, I just need to close my mouth, or I'm just going to live on these bars. Now, you need help we have over 100 coaches in our Facebook page called Flush Your Fat for Good Buddies. Come in and join us. And the buddies help you to be accountable. And if you start to slip, you can always go, Mayday, Mayday, I'm in trouble. Or you can text your buddy. Husband and wife are great, sisters, all that stuff.
It really works because you get support and 24/7 support in our Facebook room.
Right.
And you can also PM, private message people in there if you're in that room. Anybody in that room that you know or would like to text.
All right, so the next slide is recommended nutritional supplements. You're not going to be able to read the fine print, but I just wanted to let you know in the workbook, when people said, well, why do I need the workbook? Because you need to know the recommended supplementation that you should be taking while you're on losing safe, rapid fat loss. We need to support your digestive system, your muscles, and your different things in your body that are your defense system, your immune system, your autonomic nervous system. All of these things need to be supported, because when you're losing fat, it's a big deal for the body to do that. So the recommended nutritional supplements, we deal with digestive enzymes, probiotics, structured peptides, which are the branched chain amino acids. That's very important, and we make a special FYF4Good latte where we put the structured peptides, we call it muscle building fat burning powder. Then the gamma-linolenic acid, which is GLA-CLA. That's what we have here. You can get on the website.
And you can, by the way, you can look at our past podcasts. We go in depth on each one of these things that we're telling you. It's parts of the lifestyle. The
conjugated linoleic acid, which is the CLA, that's a great one for tummy fat, you guys. So the nutritional supplementation is really, really important. We've got the glycans, we've got the phytosterols mentioned in there, we've got the antioxidants mentioned in there. And I think the most important thing is to understand that even though you think you're eating good, but you're not. Because the fruits and vegetables are mostly picked green, whether they're organic or not. They're missing their very, very valuable nutrients such as phytochemicals and vitamins and minerals, things like this. You have to supplement. I mean, even JAMA, which is the Journal of American Medical Association, finally came out and said, look, we hate to tell you this, but your foods are not sufficient, even if they're the best you can get. unless you're 22 years old living on the Fiji Islands, then you're fine.
We go into that deeply in the book.
So yeah, another one is, I think the next one, I think this got cut off, to-do items to get started, certain things to get started, things that you want to have, like the 800 milliliter bottles, three of these Voss bottles. The
List of to-do items.
Yeah, list of to-do items. Okay, good. Yeah, you can help me on that. The unsweetened, not from concentrate cranberry juice. You can always get that at Trader Joe's or the markets have it. Just make sure it's unsweetened and not from concentrate. But that is part of our habitual ritual to do our 81 ounces of cran flush for flush your fat.
Right.
Okay. The list of low glycemic eating and understand non-starchy vegetables. The organic, medium, and dark roast coffee. Understand the difference from that, and that's really important.
Has to be organic.
Yeah,
Big
and
difference.
It's mandatory. Coffee is mandatory, so you read about that in the workbook. The milks that are recommended, all unsweetened and non-GMO, but with goat milk, you know, it's you don't have to worry about if it's non-GMO or unsweetened. It's just goat milk, but no cow dairy and no almond or coconut. It's not that the almond and coconut is bad for you. It's good for you. I love it.
Yeah,
you know.
it's excellent.
But there's no protein in
Yeah.
it. And the most important thing is the majority of protein that you can take in with your lifestyle, the more fat, you're going to build lean muscle mass and you're going to burn fat, okay?
That would be phase 2 if you want to do the
Yeah, you can
coconut.
do that on
Yeah.
phase 2,
Yeah.
but you still want to add more protein to your life. The yogurts, goat and sheep yogurt.
Yeah.
Now, in the workbook, if somebody just told you, oh, you don't need the workbook, just go along and get yogurt and do no, you'd be getting the wrong yogurt. You got to have goat yogurt and sheep yogurt. No flavors, no sugars in there, okay? The nuts, they have to be raw and seeds, raw nuts and seeds. And it explains that you have to soak them.
Yeah. We did a podcast on that.
We
too.
did a podcast on that too. What's the one under that? It's supplements under here.
Most buddies experience this.
Order your, okay. So yeah, because the printing got stuck on that. Okay, so then it takes you, these are just a few pages that I printed out of the workbook so you know what's in the workbook and why it's so important. How to start every morning, your habitual ritual. So this is important by understanding when you get up in the morning and your feet hit the floor out of bed, first thing you're going to do is run to the kitchen. And when you get to the kitchen, the first thing you're going to be told to do is to eat fruit, low glycemic fruit. And everybody says, well, what's my breakfast? Well, that's your breakfast because you're going to break your fast, and you're going to start with your fruit. Nice, beautiful. In fact, our last podcast was done on fruit, wasn't it?
Yes.
Okay.
2 servings a day.
Yep. And you want to, so you can get out of that second serving, and you don't want that because all of a sudden you're going to find out that your bowels aren't as good, or your energy's a little bit lower, or you're not losing as fast, the fat as fast. So that's going to talk about that, and it's also going to take you into the next level from the fruit to go into your Flush Your Fat for Good latte, okay? So that's that, and one of the other pages, so that's starting your morning. The next page you're going to find about lunch, midday meals. Okay, that's important because if you don't know what to do, okay, I did breakfast, I did the fruit, okay, I did my latte, now what do I do? So then you go right into your lunch, midday meal. And this is all about your protein and your non-starchy vegetables. Okay, so we have a list of our staples. We also show you pictures, which I'll show you in a few seconds. Then it goes into afternoon and dinner on that one slide. And it's also telling you how to take your supplements. Always take your supplements with your fruit in the morning and your cran flush, and in your second serving of fruit with your cran flush. Okay? So the next slide you'll be able to see is in the book. It's called Jackie's Typical Day on phase of, blow by blow what I'm doing just to stay on track. If you just follow this, because you'll see things in between where it says digestive enzyme. Yeah, you have to take a digestive enzyme before every protein meal. So I have it written down. If you just follow Jackie's Typical Day on phase 1, and I believe we have a chart on that.
Yes, we do. Right there.
Is this it?
Which is it should be in here.
Yeah, but you can purchase the charts. We have all the charts, the low glycemic charts.
Yeah, right here.
The day at a glance. Yeah, day at a glance.
See right here?
Yeah, cool.
Yep.
And that's valuable too.
Yes.
You just follow this thing and become OCD on it, you're going to watch your clothes fall off you. So Jackie's Typical Day on phase 1, because again, it's phase 1 and phase 2 you'll learn about. Phase 1, you're going to notice there's no starches whatsoever. There's no sugar, there's no cow dairy, there's no bread, pasta, noodles, rice, crackers, nada. And you're going to notice that on phase 1, within 3 days, you no longer care about sugar, and you can walk right into a bakery shop and could care less. And then on phase 2, we show you responsibly how to get into that. So that's the next slide, typical phase 2 day. And this is where we show you how to we introduce the starches into your life, but responsibly. You don't want just white flour, crackers, and garbage again. Now your body is so clean and so pure and so healthy, you're going to add sprouted whole grains. You're going to start eating things nutritious, such as quinoa and the ancient grains. And, even Ezekiel bread now has gluten-free. And the gluten-free Ezekiel bread is very good. And you take it slow because, when you go into phase 2, your body, for many of you, if you have 100 pounds to lose, you're going a whole year without starch. Many people have 300 and 400 pounds to lose that we've been working with. They're going to go a good 2 to 3 years without starch. And what is it, the Inuit tribes?
Yes, up by Siberia and the North Pole.
Yeah.
Eskimos.
They, they've been, their whole life is on.
Thousands of years.
Yeah, of phase 1.
Yes.
So you're not in a danger zone. In fact, anybody with blood sugar irregularities, phase 1 is your best friend.
Yes.
But when you do want to introduce, say, for example, I want to go to a Mexican restaurant, I got to have some, okay, fine. So we teach you how to do that because our second pillar is food combining. And we teach you, go, eat your starches properly. It's a 2-hour digestion period. And then make sure that your foods are digested properly, but you're not going to put with the beans and the rice and the chips and the guacamole, you're not going to put the chicken and the beef. So if you're on phase 1 and you're in a Mexican restaurant, knock yourself out with fajitas, but you're not going to do the tortillas, the rice, and all that stuff. So phase 2 introduces the starches gently because we start with first week 1 and take you through that. Now, the next slide is just showing you about miscombined meal examples. So this is good when you're just sitting around at the pool or you're just hanging out and you're reading this book and you see miscombined meals and meal examples. And then you're going to see examples of good meal choices. It's going to start clicking in your head. Oh, I get it. I can have eggs and tomatoes and vegetables, but I'm not going to eat the bread with it. So the fact is, when you start seeing these combinations, we've got protein and starches, we've got meat and potatoes, sushi, which is rice and fish, eggs and toast, sausage and pancakes. This is all bad. Okay, this is what gives you bloating, and your foods are going to putrefy. You're going to only go to the bathroom maybe once a day or once every other day. Chicken and rice, bread and meats, fish and rice, spaghetti and meatballs, meat lasagna. I mean, this is like everybody eats this way all the time. But when you go into the good examples of choices and you just eat that way and let your foods digest properly, you're going to be shocked. People don't realize, what did that one woman say? She said, I never realized how bad I felt until I felt this good. Right. The next slide is Jackie's chicken salad. This is just to show you we do actually have pictures in the book because I hate reading books without pictures.
This one, though.
No. I'm talking about the workbook.
The workbook has pictures so you can see.
Jackie's chicken salad was completely designed for fat loss. And that again was innate intelligence because I am not a cook. And
you are a cook now.
I'm a cook now, but I found ways to do things fast, make the food, throw it in the Tupperware, and I've got food available for me all the time, up to 4 to 5 days.
Right.
And it's easy. And so many families, they say my kids love it. I have to make an extra batch.
They have to hide it because the kids eat it all.
Yeah.
That tells you something.
Yeah. It's the bomb. Jackie's chicken salad is the bomb. And it's very refreshing and it's very filling, but it's so nutritious and it supplies, in fact, you'll read about it in our textbook here, why everything was chosen to affect the body all in balance. So if you just ate that, I mean, for 4 years I was eating 1 to 2 bowls a day. I never got tired of it. And you can replace it with Jackie's egg salad, Jackie's fish salad, Jackie's turkey. I like the chicken because of the isoleucine, I believe it is, in the chicken.
Yeah, leucine.
Yeah, for leucine. For lean, is it isoleucine or leucine? I just got mixed up.
In chicken?
Yeah.
Leucine, the highest leucine.
Yeah. For lean muscle mass. Well, when you build your muscles is where you burn the fat, and your muscles are holding up your skeletal structure. So, think about it. If you have to look at your body like a car. If you really care about your car, if you really care about your wheels, you want to get some. So the last slide is digestion times. And this, you can, pull it out of the book or make a copy of it and stick it on your refrigerator or whatever. And the digestive times is going to tell you what you ate and how long that's going to take for the food to empty the stomach. Now, most people don't ever feel their food leaving their stomach.
No. In fact, that's an issue. That's why a lot of people are sluggish, and it's just not healthy. You should take your food in, and then the stomach churns it up and digests it, and then it leaves the stomach and goes into the duodenum and the small intestine. The stomach should empty, and that's the beauty and the physiological benefit of food combining, because we give you the times of the foods and when they should leave the stomach, how much time it takes, and when the stomach's empty, that's when you send down the next food, and nothing gets convoluted or canceled out, or you get an acid and a base and it neutralizes, so it's stuck there for a while. Most people will go from meal to meal with still having food in their stomachs because it's sitting there. It's taking 8 hours to digest, and you throw some more food down there. I mean, imagine how taxing the burden on the digestive tract. That is such a burden that it will make you tired, fatigued. you wonder why most people, especially if you go to a conference or something after lunch, everyone's falling asleep. They're all on the desk falling asleep because their stomach probably wasn't emptied and they took the food in, or they miscombined, and now there's a burden on the system.
Well, and another good example is the siesta. When everybody eats a lot of food, they have to take the siesta. When I lived in Mexico, that was, oh my God, it's time for a siesta. Or the best example for everybody in America is when we celebrate Thanksgiving.
Oh, that is the
honest
true
to
example.
God, they're doing the stuffing, the turkey, the cranberry.
Everyone fights for the couch.
Have a piece of pie.
And then the killer of protein is sugar.
Right.
You destroy anything you wanted to do about protein by taking in sugar. It's over.
So you tasted everything. It all tasted great. But then you suffer for the next 72 hours.
Yes.
You have to understand and learn how to do it right. You'll never suffer. You'll watch all your relatives go home stumbling and buckled over. And, don't call me till, 2 days from now.
Right.
And you'll survive the best because you knew how to pull it off. If you know how to pull off a Thanksgiving dinner without being bloated or nauseous or regretful,
right,
I'd say that's a win.
Right. That is a win.
So we also have now this workbook. This is so worth getting. See, what I wanted to explain with everybody this summer, because we're in summer. I mean, we've been in the pool and everything.
Don't you want to talk about the dimensions? You can take your measurements in the back. There's that.
Yeah, you can do
there's
that.
There's that, chart that, some people need that. They need to look back, and they, we don't recommend you get on the scale at all. It's our enemy. We don't, It's a liar. It's not going to tell you the truth.
No, but this is great because somebody in our private Facebook room, which we encourage you guys to join, somebody was showing us that.
Yes.
They took a picture of the chart.
And it shows your progress. You do it, you retake your measurements maybe 6 to 8 weeks later. You don't do it like every 2 days or something, or every week even. You want to wait, at least 4 to 6 weeks to take your measurements again. Wouldn't you say?
No.
8 weeks?
No.
4 weeks?
But see, everybody's different. Oh. No, I say you can do it every week.
Oh.
If you want.
See,
just don't get on the scale. Look, I never took a measurement.
Yeah, some people like measurements.
What I like to do is get up out of bed and my pajamas fell off me.
Right.
Okay, so then I figured, okay, I'm losing, But for those anal people that really, really like to see that, go for it every week. Don't be disappointed because you can only lose from 3 to 5 pounds of adipose tissue safely a week. And most women are 3 pounds a week of adipose tissue. We're not talking bone and muscle. And men are 5 pounds. So, they're because of their testosterone, and we've talked about that before. So this workbook, you can find this on our website, Flush Your Fat for Good, in the store. When you go up to the top of the page and you click store, you're also going to see a bunch of bundles of things that we have that we put it together in
to get you started.
Yeah, it's Starter Kit 1, Starter Kit 2, and Starter Kit 3.
Right.
I don't think I've given our handy dandy engineer the picture of our 3 starter kits. But Starter Kit 1 involves not only the textbook, the workbook, all the charts, and the shopping pad, which is really cool, and our GLA and CLA, which is all together. And then you learn about all the supplements that we recommend, and you can find them all on Amazon. You can internet search, you can go to your health food store, and the criteria is they have to be from whole foods, no fillers, no binders, no sugars, no artificial dyes or sweeteners, and it's all listed there. Okay, we're not recommending companies, but you do your homework because people live in different parts of the world. We're in 5 countries, and people live in different cities where they can only get, maybe they have a big metropolis and they can go and go into the Whole Foods and the Trader Joe's, and they can go into whatever. Some people, I live where I could do that, and I still like to buy on Amazon. So Another thing is on the website, you'll be able to see if you become a VIP member. Becoming a VIP member when you first get started is really the smartest thing to do.
Yes.
Because we have, 23 videos.
23 how-to videos.
Yeah,
and
how to make the food. We're in the kitchen showing you this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And Kathleen Powell, who wrote the book with us, and she helped us to format our textbook here. And she also helped to edit
Yes.
the workbook.
Mm-hmm.
She's interviewing us, and she's great at interviewing. And what she did was we had videos of her interviewing us
Right.
on our philosophy, on
the
our
pillars.
on the pillars, the reasoning, the why,
Yes,
how
it's-
this whole thing came about. This is a grassroots movement because, food combining is not new. It's been introduced to the world in 1850.
Mm-hmm.
And it's come around in the early 1900s, then it was in the 1950s. And really, Dr. Vicki and I are bringing it back to where people need to pay attention to their digestion, absorption, elimination. All you have to do is turn on the TV, and how many commercials do you see about Tums, the digestive problems?
Antacids.
Antacids.
Xanax.
Xanax.
Not Xanax.
Not
Zantac. Zantac. And
Yeah, you need Xanax after that.
And those are. I put a article in the room about those antacid tablets. Like Zantac and what's that other one?
Provocent.
Begins with a P.
Yeah.
And you're not supposed to take. You're supposed to take those maybe for 2 weeks tops. You're not supposed to take those for months and months and months. If you go to Costco, you'll see like these jumbo jars of that stuff, and it's going to cause bone problems, serious problems in your body. And you're not supposed to take that stuff. And plus, it does not help the problem. The problem is you're not digesting, and that just stops digestion completely. So
right. So we're
have a
just
question?
wondering, is our trusty engineer there to take down the digestive time slides? Thank you, Jennifer, for telling us that.
yeah.
They might be having a problem in the control room. Not sure.
Well,
If you guys can hear us, hopefully
yeah.
they'll take it down.
Otherwise, you get to memorize it, and we'll quiz you next time.
Right. In other ways, you're hearing our lovely voices.
Yes.
So thank you, Jennifer, for that.
We should just, yeah. Well, I think we can say
so,
goodbye.
well, the
because
next thing I want to say is on the
we finished.
website,
Yeah.
really take a look at what we have to offer on the website.
Mm-hmm.
We have a coaching course that is 7 modules, bar none. You can't find any of all that knowledge in just one place. And I think the knowledge is, for those that are in the health and wellness industry, those are the ones that really want to learn this stuff because it gives them confidence on how they can care for other people and themselves and their families.
Mm-hmm.
So we also have a Power 100 call, which is every Wednesday, and Coach Jennifer is the host of that with Dr. Vicki and myself. And this is for people that are 100 pounds plus, and they have a whole another set of issues that we love to work with them on, and other people can relate to. And we write about that in our textbook, which is
Our textbook.
I call it the textbook now.
Well, it
Our
really
paperback, you can get it on Amazon.com or on fleshorfatforgood.com. However, there's a paradigm shift that has to take place and help people to realize that they didn't get 100, 2, 3, 4, 500 pounds just because they were eating poorly. There was a reason why they were eating poorly and certain things that were happening to them, that a lot of the emotional things have to change.
And also physiological things changed as a result, like insulin resistance and other things. So it doesn't really, after a while, it is not your fault, because
Yeah, and it's a
you
catch-
put on weight no matter what.
No, it's a catch-22
Yes.
because when you get into hyperinsulinemia, now your
Yes.
moods and your emotions are so bad
Yeah.
that then you wind up hurting yourself even more.
And there's nothing you can do to stop it. You just keep gaining and gaining and gaining. And that's the sad part, because it gets very frustrating and depressing. Depressing, and you feel so defeated.
Yeah, so that's what we wanted to share with you today, that the workbook is essential to purchase. And the fact is, if you just get it now and you start reading it and get familiar with it, look at it when you're laying out at the beach or at the pool or just hanging around, and you get familiar with it, then when you're ready to really get started, you're really going to get started. But we want you to join our Flush Your Fat for Good Buddies Facebook page. Just go there and request to join, and Dr. Vicki will look at the questions that you answered.
Yeah, please answer the questions, because that will help me determine, if you're really going to be interested in coming and sincere and coming in the room, because we keep it very safe.
Yes, and it's personal. People show their before and afters. They talk about their problems. They also share with their joy, and they show what they're doing as far as improving their lives. They're going on vacation and trips, and they show how. It's not a place where you're going to put pictures of your kids and your family vacation and all that stuff.
Right.
It's strictly a place to where you have a huge support system. That was pillar number 8. It is your huge support system. And it is where you can really hone in on what you're doing and feel connected. If you want to lose the fat and be supported, this is the place to go, and we'll always be there for you. So, did that slide come on down? And you guys
Jennifer sent me a smiley face, so I think it did.
Yay!
But anyway,
You can see our lovely
we
faces.
have to go anyway.
Yeah,
so.
well, we have one more minute. I just wanted to say that summer is here. Get the book for summer reading if you're not ready to change a lifestyle, but it'll prep you for changing your lifestyle.
Right.
And then you'll be all prepared and ready to go, and it's not difficult, it's just different. Yeah.
You will enjoy. You will enjoy how you feel, better health, and just the freedom of knowing what to do. Get up in the morning and you know exactly what you're going to eat.
For life, you will feel
For
great.
good.
Yeah, for good. All right, so thank you, and until next week, God bless.
Bye-bye.
You're listening to Flush Your Fat for Good with Jackie and Dr. Vicki, only on LA Talk Radio.